guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Moss Acura of North Tampa, and guess what? We have it for you first. What am I talking about? This vehicle right here. This is your updated, refresh, changed up Acura 2025 Acura RDX. This one is the A-Spec with the tech package. But before we get into this luxury compact crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So it seems that the RDX has been sort of like the stepchild of Acura's whole lineup because it has not received a redesign in a very long time. There was a refresh back around 2021 and now a second refresh for this crossover SUV. It's fascinating because a lot of people, including yours truly, was hoping that this vehicle would get the Type S treatment. We don't have that, but we do have some changes. So what I want to find out is if you're looking for a compact crossover luxury sport SUV, do you go with this A-Spec RDX or do you go with its arch nemesis, the Lexus NX 350? Let's go ahead. Let's dive in our liquid carbon, new color for 2025, liquid carbon metallic gray finish of an RDX and find out. Right off the bat, it still looks fresh. And I think that's one of the challenges for the RDX is that they did a great job nailing the styling right from the get-go. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna see that great headlight array that Acura uses, that multi-jewel LED beam headlights, turn signals, and the chicane daytime running lamp. We see the refresh that took place a couple years ago with our functional corner air curtains, a little bit of gloss black on the A-Spec. Remember, the A-Spec is the sportier style trim, so you're gonna get a little bit more gloss black. On the lower portion, you are getting multi-LED fog lamps, and then the whole lower lip from corner to corner is gloss black. But let me know what you think about the liquid carbon color. Looks fantastic, I think, on the front of this RDX. Now, as we come across the front grille, this is probably the newest part of the aesthetic. So you're gonna find that gloss black exterior perimeter with our interlaced grille, fully functional with that ginormous Flava Flav Acura badge and a forward-facing camera on the tech package. It's interesting how the grille, even though that's the only thing that's been changed, really brings a nice updated look to the front of the vehicle, and this helps it kind of fall more in alignment with the MDX and obviously the Integra, the TLX, all those goodies. Now working our way down, you do have full functionality, gloss black, and there is that intercooler peeking from behind, and I really dig how they just made the lower lip all gloss black. Nice thick splitter, and that's gonna help get air to that intercooler, plus aesthetically it balances the black with the liquid carbon. Now, as we rise up, hood's gonna be the same, and I don't think that's a bad thing. You have that great peak that evaporates as you go towards the windshield, and then I've always liked the sort of boomerang curves that they put on the hood of the RDX. Really gives it a nice separation from the rest of the competition. And when you look at cars like the Lexus NX, you got that big, massive front grille. This one is a little classier, but still has the sportiness. Now, as we come around the bend, if we have a new grille, we have new wheels. So the other big aesthetic change are these updated wheels, 20-inch machined aluminum with the gloss black, multi-spoke design. Tires, all four corners are gonna be 255 on the width, 45 series sidewall, and they do some light tuning to the suspension to give it a little bit sportier driving engagement over your standard RDX. Coming down the side, of course, you're gonna have the A-Spec badge. They do a great job with the way that they not only place their badges, but also I love the pop of red. Just gives it a nice little extra kind of oomph of pizzazz to let you know that this is something a little bit more than your standard vehicle. You're gonna get on the RDX A-Spec the gloss black on the mirror caps, LED turn signals. We got blacked out door handles. Let me know how you like that. I think with the liquid carbon, I don't mind it because it does a good job of balancing all the other black accents and it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. I'm curious to see what this would look like on a white RDX. But you have your gloss black on your door handles. Up top, we have a panoramic sunroof, which is nice. Nice to see that. The only thing that would make it nicer is if the whole roof was painted black. That, to me, would really blend in nicely with all the black accents. But we have that signature butter knife style trim, gloss black, and then there's gloss black also along the bottom portion. Now, as we come towards the rear, everything else looking the same. Love the way that they bring the gloss black trim into the rear hatch. And then as we spin it around back, we did it right with choosing this one, because not only do I love the color of the liquid carbon, this does have Acura's patented, beloved super handling all-wheel drive. So let's talk about the touches here. You do have your LED brake lights. The only thing is, what in the heck is going on there? Old-fashioned light bulb is not going to cut it in model year 2025, so I am going to have to zonk that. Love the A-Spec badge, though. Let me know if you're liking the style of the taillight, you know, that the way they kind of gave it that little hard edge there. You do still have an exposed wiper. I wish that they would tuck that underneath. It would really clean up the back, so I am going to zonk that. But I do love the Acura badge, the way they kind of notch around and actually lift up that part where the badge is. On this side, you just read it as it's listed. It's an RDX, and it's got that super handling all-wheel drive. And then dropping it like it's hot, you have functional exhaust, ginormous stainless steel tips on both sides. And then I like the way they painted the lower diffuser, the liquid carbon color. I think that really, if this was all gloss black, it would just get lost. You got the gloss black, but then you have the painted liquid carbon finish. But I tell you, it still looks very modern and crisp, styling-wise, except for that freaking Thomas Edison light bulb. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see if there's no more horsepower for 2025. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Underneath the hood is that same power plant, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's the tried and true detuned Type R engine. So what are we looking at? You're looking at a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, still putting out 272 horsepower, still putting out 280 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission with the all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds flat. Top speed is governed to 112 miles per hour. MPG's around 22 in the city, 26 on the highway. So I'll be a little honest. It would have been nice to at least seen maybe 300 horsepower being produced out of this engine, because we all know it could do it. The new Type R has 315 horsepower. But let me know your thoughts while you're typing. We're going to go ahead and fire this up and see it roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Acura RDX Advanced. The advanced part adds the extra tech to it. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a sporty crossover. I refuse to drive something that looks boring. I like the fact that this has all-wheel drive and it's turbocharged. And of course, hey, doesn't bother me that it comes from the company that made the original NSX. But how much is it? Very good question. MSRP for the way this one is optioned is right at $56,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Loving the style inside the Acura RDX. You have that soft touch black material. Then you're going to have dark black Alcantara with some contrast stitching. Real aluminum trim. And then you work your way down. This vehicle still has the ELS Studio 3D sound system with ambient lighting behind the speaker grill, and that's aluminum speaker grill covers. Then you have the orchid coloring on the armrests with the stitching, no gloss black. Door pocket, pretty decent size. You could get a nice New York bagel in there with a large schmear and a cappuccino to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same story. I'm loving the Alcantara, the stitching, real aluminum. They increase the ambient lighting to really show, and they even have aluminum trim up on the dash as well, that silver aluminum. Now as you slide in, here's where it gets a little bumpy. So you still have a 10.25 inch screen, and yes, the zonk is it's still not a touchscreen. Now personally, I don't care, but I know a lot of you out there do care. The update that they made that's probably the biggest for the infotainment system is that when you're using your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto, it takes up all 10.25 inches of the screen. And you do have, like we're showing you here, that split screen where I could display other information on the side there. Let me go ahead and throw it in reverse. Oh, that hurts. I'm gonna zonk it. I wish that, what the hell is that? What is that? I guess it's a camera. I don't know. So it's good resolution. It's just small. Why is it so small? I know you've been told that maybe sometimes during your life, but this screen doesn't have to be, that image doesn't have to be that small, because why is this spot all dead for the image of a old-fashioned camera? Old-fashioned video camcorder that my dad used back in 1985. Put it in the park. Wait until you see the graphics though. I hit the dynamic mode selector knob. We have all our modes. Nice graphics, look at that. Like playing a video game. Really, really cool. Of course, we're gonna go sport. Working your way down, what I love is you have a real volume knob and real switch gear for your dual climate control. 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats. A metal, not a plastic, metal dynamic mode control button. This is going to control your 10-speed automatic, and there is that precision touchpad which allows you to go through the infotainment system. It's really not that hard. New for 2025 is all this. So you have the Orchid, and then down below we now have storage. You got a 12 volt and a USB-C, and a place where you could put a MERS, a purse, a sack, a satchel. You could even put a small Sony Walkman down there with a headset if you're doing it old school. Also, this has been reconfigured. We have a larger, people's phones keep getting larger and larger. Wireless charging pad, nicely placed. 2 cup holders. Acura still makes a fine looking key fob. Very classy with the Acura name. And then we have that Orchid color. Lift this up. Look at the storage in there. You got a USB-A just for fun, and you got enough room, I would say, for 2 softballs. So if your balls are very soft and you got 2 still, you can keep them in there. That's how much room there is. The seats, we now have leather, the piping, perforations, the bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver, of course, and we have that nice size panoramic sunroof with a power shade. But why don't you go ahead, come on over here, because this is my favorite part. I love the steering wheel in these Acuras. Come on over and maybe I'll let you touch it. All right, guys, here we are, business time. We got 2 memory seat settings for the driver. I do love the A-Spec aluminum sill plate. Pedal box right out of Acura's GTP race car. Aluminum dead pedal, aluminum brake, and throttle. All your seat controls are within fingertip reach, easy to get to. Seats are the perfect balance of sportiness and also comfort. I'm 6 feet tall. Don't let compact crossover scare you away from the RDX. There's actually a lot of room here. Here it is. I get to touch it, you don't. Nice smooth touch leather here and on the bottom. Nice flat bottom wheel. Love the perforated leather. The A-Spec badge, you got your thumb wheel controls, everything flat black, and you have a heated steering wheel. And then you do have paddles, and unfortunately they are plastic behind the wheel to go up and down that 10-speed automatic. And it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. But check out that dash. I love in sport mode how you have a G meter, you got a turbo boost gauge. You could see where the super handling all-wheel drive sends the power to the wheels, and then you can scroll through a cornucopia of information. You got all your Acura sensing technology to keep you and your passengers safe. And then I love the analog tach and speedometer back LED lit aluminum face gauges, looks classy. I don't need a full digital display because you got a head-up display on top of this. But let's get into the back seat because I'm getting ready. I want to take you for a ride in this RDX. All right, guys, back seat time. And like I was saying, don't let compact fool you when looking at the RDX. There's actually a lot of room back here. I'm still 6 feet tall. I haven't shrunk yet. And I love the way you have the ELS Studio Premium sound system. On the back, you got nice large pockets. You could put easily, I would say, 2 big bags of cotton candy. And then you have your rear AC vents, 2 USB-Cs, and we have 3 stages of heated seats, which are nice. But the seats are nicely padded. You do have a little bit of lean. Actually, that is the full lean. So that's all you get. It would be nice to have seats that recline a little bit, so I am gonna zonk that. Flip this down. Looks like a roll of Charmin, feels like a roll of Charmin, nice and soft. 2 cup holders, and they do a great job on the leather interior. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area and see what we could stuff in this vehicle. All right, guys, cargo area time. Hit the button, nice electric assist. You're gonna be greeted to 30 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Look at what we have over here. I hope you like a gallon of chocolate milk because you could put your gallon of chocolate milk right in this tub. There's even a 12 volt for when you're tailgating or you're at the beach or whatever. And I love the way they have the handles because then you just pull and then you're able to push down the seats, which I'll show you in a split second. First thing I gotta do is my OCD is bothering me. You gotta put those headrests down all the way. Just like that, and then now, look at that, boom. Shaka boom, nice and flat, maxing out the space. And you even have a nook over here right by the subwoofer for a box of Twinkies. Lift this up, we're not done yet. Look at the storage. Would have been nice if that was actually drainable and you could use it as a cooler. But the nice thing is if you take the family to the beach, especially your kids, and they got the sandy flip-flops and the pails and the shovels and all the other crap, you could put it in here so it doesn't mess up the carpet in the cargo area. That's smart engineering. Well, why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. This thing's got all-wheel drive. Let's go for a spin in this RDX. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Acura RDX A-Spec with the super handling all-wheel drive. And right away, it's so great what they do to the interiors with Acura, because even though a lot of people, including myself, will say Acura is a luxury brand, they don't exactly look at their brand that way. They look at it as like a premium performance brand, but definitely brings the business to Lexus with their NX. I love the way the interior is nicely set up, not a bunch of gloss black. Yes, the screen is not a touchscreen, but using this pad, I'm telling you, it's so easy to navigate through. It really, really is. And then, of course, you have all the usual icons and apps. I could get into the ambient lighting very easily. You could change up the lighting for the dynamic modes that you go into, have it set up different ways. They even have like racetracks as well, like Suzuka, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna leave it on Suzuka. That's pretty wild that they do that. Suzuka is a great track, of course, in Japan, but the 10-speed automatic does a nice job with shifting. Really good transmission. And the fact that you have a nice clear view of the head-up display, clear view of the instrumentation, and just so much great storage in here. I mean, they really did a nice job changing up the center console area. But good sound deadening material. And in sport mode, you're definitely gonna have that more engaging drive because it changes the steering feel, how the transmission and the engine behave with one another, and throttle sensitivity as well. But it's one of those vehicles that until you get behind the wheel, you're not going to be able to fully appreciate. Once you get behind the wheel, you're like, wow, this Acura RDX A-Spec is actually really phenomenal, especially when you compare it to the Lexus. I feel like the interior is nicer than the Lexus NX, and it definitely is a more engaging drive, a more performance-oriented drive, whereas the NX is a little softer. But snappy acceleration, you're gonna enjoy the overall dimensions of the vehicle because of the class of crossover SUV it is. And then going down the road is just really smooth. You could go to your dynamic mode selector. We could go right to normal or comfort, and that drops the RPMs and really just allows a little bit more of a comfort situation while you're behind the wheel. But the visibility out the front is great. Side mirrors are excellent. And of course, you have all the safety features. That goes without saying. Nice feedback from the wheel too. There's just something that Acura and Honda does with the steering wheel. Not only the thickness of the wheel, but also the communication that's coming to the wheel while you're behind it. But let's go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. Nice shifts from that 10 speed. On the brakes. Handles so nice for the type of vehicle that it is. Look at that. Very composed, very planted, especially with that all-wheel drive. But I love the way that the shifts are purposeful but not too over the top. I'm gonna go ahead and make a U-turn here. Show you how easy that is. Easy peasy, you ready? On throttle, here we go. Shows the power getting to all four corners. On the brakes, look at this. This corner's a little decreasing radius. Super composed. It makes you feel like a rock star behind the wheel. And I love those backlit LED reg gauges. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what the 2025 Acura RDX A-Spec is all about. We're gonna get back to Moss Acura North Tampa and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys, as always, such a pleasure being here at Moss Acura North Tampa. Definitely got to thank Albert and the rest of the team getting us access to this 2025 updated, changed up RDX A-Spec with the tech package. Let me know what you think. Are you going NX? Are you going RDX? How do you like your X's? You like it with the N in front of it or an RD? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Got to give it up to the Flood, man. He's holding the rain back. He's done his anti-rain dance. Thank you, Steven, for doing what you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.